warm welcome back. I am Sage and I hope your Friday's trading is going well. You're watching Kalkine TV live from Sydney, and this is the last trade, the last show of the day for the last day of the month. So let's get started with the market close commentary for today. Energy healthcare drags the ASX 200 to the red before closing for the week. On Friday, the benchmark index ASX 200 traded lower, dragged by energy and healthcare sectors. Almost all sectors traded in the red today, and the market dropped 55 points by market's close and traded at 7,027.30, dipped by 0.78% on Thursday's closure. Sectorally, the top gainers have been a mixed bag. Mesoblast Limited traded higher after posting the positive outcome of its medicine, Remestemcel-L, on critical COVID-19 patients. As per the company, the mortality rate reduced by 46 because of the drug, and Mesoblast entered into a license and collaboration agreement with Novartis for the development, manufacture and commercialisation of Remestemcel-L. The focus would be on treating acute respiratory distress syndrome. Mesoblast Limited shares of the company rallied by 7.377% after the announcement. And moving on, APAC markets in the red on Friday. On Friday, Asia Pacific share traded mostly in the red after one-day hiatus due to a holiday. Japan's Nikkei was down by 40 basis points on Friday. In the initial trade, China's CSI 300 dipped by 50 basis points, and Morgan Stanley Capital International's APAC index, which includes most of the countries sans Japan, fell by 50 basis points. Meanwhile, the 10-year US Treasury yield increased to its highest in over 2 weeks, up by 1.690%. On the back of robust US economic data, anticipated demand recovery and a weak dollar, oil prices were near a 6-week peak. All these factors offset the concerns due to higher COVID-19 cases in India and Brazil. Following a high of 68.95 the US dollar a barrel yesterday, Brent fell by 40 basis points to $68.30 US dollars a barrel, and US West Texas Intermediate declined to $64.80 US dollars a barrel, down by 0.3%. The robust US economic data and Fed's commitment to continue support to the economic recovery kept the world stocks high, but Asian investors remained cautious. And moving on, private and public reports on China's factory activity differ strikingly. As per a private study released today, in April, China's factory activities accelerated at the fastest speed as compared to the last 4 months. The growth driver remained the increasing demand. However, what dampens the otherwise positive outlook are the increasing prices of raw materials and inputs. As per the private survey beating the analysts' expectations, the PMI increased to 51.9 in April. And in contrast, China's official PMI suggests that factory activity increasing at a slower than anticipated speed. Furthermore, the private survey suggested that despite new orders and output increased at a good speed, the factories also reported a sharp rise in input costs, which clouded the business outlook despite the increasing activity. And now, let's have a look at some important COVID-19 updates from Australia. The Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk confirmed 3 new cases found in the state, 1 at the airport and 2 in quarantine. On Thursday, a traveller breached the green zone at the international terminal at Brisbane Airport, who was later tested positive for coronavirus. And after this incident, Jeanette Young, the Chief Health Officer, showed concern over the international terminal being a risky zone, reportedly after finding the viral fragments in wastewater. The Victorian health authorities remained on alert but not alarmed. Moving on to some important COVID-19 updates in other parts of the globe. While India is collapsing with the second wave and the number keeps on rising, in Brazil on Thursday surpassed 400,000 COVID fatalities mark. US authorities have warned that the daily toll in Brazil is expected to be high for several months due to easing restrictions and slow vaccination rollouts. And now, let's have a look at this important update in metal space. Palladium hits an all-time high on the supply deficit and robust demand. Palladium prices surged to an all-time high peak of $2,981.99 per ounce on Thursday on robust demands and supply disruptions. Palladium futures crossed the $2,900 per ounce level mark for the first time, and the metal prices have surged by more than 11% this month. High demand of the silver white metal in the automobile industry for catalytic converter amid stringent pollution guidelines in China and Europe has skyrocketed the demand for palladium. Supply concerns from the world's leading palladium producer, including Russia's Norilsk Nickel, have created a supply deficit leading to a surge in soft metal prices. Leading market analysts believes that the prices will cross the $3,000 per ounce mark in the near future. And meanwhile, let's see why these shares are buzzing today. Roto Grow International Limited announced that Carla Malon and Andrew Palfreman of Atomic Group have been appointed as Chief Financial Officer and Company Secretary respectively. While Carla is a chartered accountant and has a master's degree in maths, Andrew is a corporate lawyer and specialises in equity capital markets and commercial transactions. Also on Friday, Roto Grow International shared its quarterly activities report for the period ending 31st March 2021. The report said that Roto Grow continues to collaborate with Verity Greens and establish itself as a leading technology supplier in the global indoor vertical farming perishable foods market. Also, Roto Grow continues to work with Canberra to capitalise on the executed $1.93 million Australian dollars purchase and sale agreement. Roto Grow International Limited shares remained unchanged at 4.6 Australian cents. Moving on. Indoor Skydive Australia Group Limited shared its March quarter update on Friday, as per which the company went on to witness robust sales throughout the quarter in both wind tunnel and virtual reality business segments. Indoor Skydive Australia Group reported net cash of 159,000 Australian dollars from operating activities, 2.1 million Australian dollars of cash receipts for the quarter, and the firm is now focused on the growth and development of its virtual reality businesses. This includes the continuation of the FREAK or Freak Entertainment rollout. Freak Entertainment performed strongly with the first full quarter of 3 venues open. Revenues were up 72% as compared to the previous quarter, and its cash receipts rose 62% from the previous quarter. Indoor Skydive Australia Group Limited shares plunged by 21.213%. One of the most talked about stocks on the ASX, the Crown Resorts Limited, announced on Friday that gaming and non-gaming operations at Crown Perth could restart as the Western Australian government will be easing restrictions in the Perth metropolitan area and Peel regions from the 1st of May 2021 onwards. Restrictions on gaming operations include a prescribed maximum density quotient of 1 person per 2 square metres. Also, physical distancing and hygiene protocols will have to be followed. Crown is likely to start operating from the 1st of May 2021. Crown Resorts Limited shares were slightly up by 16.4 basis points. Weebit Nano Limited shared its activities reports for the quarter ended 31st March 2021. The company shared it is accelerating in discussions with multiple potential partners and customers, targeting the first commercial agreement by mid-year. This largely depends on the then COVID-19 international travel restrictions. It also shared that its embedded memory module is on track and that it is advancing in integrating Weebit Nano's ReRAM or ReRAM with a selector for the discrete memory market. Also, 2 new patents are filed in relation to optimizing ReRAM programming. Weebit Nano Limited shares gained by 2.714%. And now, before I take your leave, let me share a news on some exciting events to look forward to. Sydney is expecting some beautiful autumn weather this weekend, so do make the most of it and visit Parramatta's Heritage Festival, where you can tour the historic buildings and listen to the stories of the hidden histories of one of Sydney's oldest suburbs. The Riverside Theatres in Parramatta will also host Australia's premier Academy accredited short film festival this weekend, Flickerfest. Check out the tickets online for the best of local and global short films. Word is on the street that you don't have to visit Venice, Italy to ride in a gondola either. Darling Harbour, Sydney also offers the treat for up to 6 people to ride in an enclosed gondola. Or why not take a magical ride day or night at Australia's best Ferris wheel in Darling Harbour. For a small fee you can gain 360-degree views of Sydney's skyline for a thrilling ride that will make for some memorable moments for the children or for that special someone this weekend. And thank you so much for your time. That is all for now and for this week from our live updates. I will see you back on Monday as close as possible to 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Time, live from Sydney. And this is Sage signing off for Kalkine TV.